For Vancouver Fairview.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yesterday in estimates, the Minister of Jobs responded to concerns that I expressed about the flight of BC film and TV production by saying that production numbers were actually heading up this year. Yet industry producers here in British Columbia say that production so far this year is actually down by about 15%. One of the bright spots of hope was the impending production in Vancouver of Fantastic Four. But yesterday, that hope for underemployed local film crews was dashed when a studio spokesperson confirmed that the Fantastic Four is moving production from Vancouver to Louisiana, which has a more competitive tax regime. Madam Speaker, this government has succeeded in doing what no other supervillain has, and that's to scare away the Fantastic Four. Madam Speaker, the Minister of Transportation has said that this government understands competition and knows how to be competitive. So my question to the Minister of Finance is, will he make BC's tax credit regime in the film and television industry competitive with other jurisdictions in North America?
Minister of Finance.
It's Madam Speaker, and to the member, thank you for the question. It's a source of immense pride, I think, for all British Columbians and members on both sides of the House, how the film and production sector has grown. It has done so in large measure because of the talents of the people who work in that industry, some of it very unique in terms of the skills they acquire, and it's something that we are entitled to be immensely proud of. It's also in part attributable to a tax structure that has been created, a form of subsidy for the industry that actually pays back on the basis of the amount of labor costs that those productions incur. In the year ahead, we expect that amount to reach $380 million, Madam Speaker. That's $380 million tax dollars from hardworking British Columbians that goes to reimburse companies for the cost of labor associated with those productions. And we think it's a sound investment, and it is an investment that has grown dramatically year over year, signaling, Madam Speaker, continued growth in that sector. It's good news for the province, good news to the sector, but it is not a limitless subsidy that British Columbia taxpayers can afford, and we will continue to ensure that an appropriate balance is achieved.
Hear, hear. Vancouver Fairview on a supplemental.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We're all proud of BC's film and television industry. We're proud of the skills and the infrastructure that has been built. But as this government sits idly by, the BC film industry is going up in flames like the Human Torch. Madam Speaker, the Fantastic Four promised hundreds of jobs to British Columbia workers. As I'm sure the minister is aware, because this study has been available for 2 weeks, the industry just commissioned a study on the economic contributions of film and TV in Canada, and it shows a significant number of both direct and indirect small business jobs created by the investment, as well as significant payment in provincial taxes. BC currently has a 27% share of production in Canada. The math is pretty simple. It's not hard, and the numbers are impressive, including the fact that the industry returns in British Columbia, if you apply that formula, double the amount of tax credits that the minister referred to. That's a good deal for taxpayers. It's a great economic stimulus and job creator. So my question to the Minister of Finance again, will this minister and this government heed the call of the industry producers and workers and support BC's job-generating industry with a competitive tax regime? Or will the government's message continue to be, it's clobbering time for the BC film industry?
Minister of Finance.
Well, a holy corporate subsidy, Batman. I always appreciate the commentary from the boy wonder over there. But I am unaccustomed and have been during the course of this debate and tried to reconcile what in some instances has been a historic aversion to the kind of corporate subsidy that the member now advocates with gusto. There is no disagreement, Madam Speaker, concerning the benefits that have accrued to British Columbia, the unique talents that have been developed here, and a desire to ensure that those talents can be put to work. That's good for BC, that's good for Canada. But, Madam Speaker, rather than continue with a process that sees one jurisdiction in Canada competing with another to see how much money we can send to Hollywood, which is precisely what that member is advocating, Madam Speaker, I believe, and the government believes, that it makes more sense for us in Canada, jurisdictions like British Columbia and Ontario, to work together and maximize the benefits of the film and production sector for all Canadians and all British Columbians.